And share some of the best practices. I think that I read something recently, or it was on a podcast. They said that, being around other people that have good habits, you tend to have better habits yourself.
Yeah.
And I would say that with you. There's days where I'm thinking, what would Cindy do here? She'd be like, okay with this. So
you too. I love the magnesium glycinate and the having my supplements in the office. Cause like I said, honestly, like I just haven't been doing a good job. But that's okay. But I learned from you too. So I think we're better together.
Hey there, rebels on the retirement highway. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Yasmine, your co-pilot for fun flashbacks, retirement mischiefs, and the occasional Medicare sanity check.
We're best friends, lifelong storytellers, and just noisy enough to share what we've learned about life. Laughter and staying retired, rewired, and slightly unsupervised.
Your co-pilot for fun flashbacks and retirement mischief. Each week, we start off with a blast from the past and connect it to real life now and sprinkle in some Medicare truth, minus the boring parts.
Think Thelma and Louise with more giggles, less cliffs, and no cousin Larry explaining Plan G.
So buckle up and hit subscribe. Your Medicare Besties are here to keep your retirement stories rolling and your Medicare mistakes in the rearview mirror.
Let's get started.
Hey there, fellow rebels on the retirement highway. I'm Cindy Klontz.
And I'm Yasmine Lopez.
And we are best friends, Medicare coaches, and creators of Retired, Rewired, and Slightly Unsupervised.
Yeah, welcome to Medicare Besties.
Kind of like Thelma and Louise, right?
Yes, exactly. As in our own minds.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always laugh that when we were younger and in our teens and everything, our conversations would be about crushing on boys and where was the party on Friday night, where were we going dancing and all these things. And now we'll get together and we'll talk about what supplements we're taking.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you this one supplement that my girlfriend recommended to me. Oh my gosh, it's
What's
like the new, apparently it's going crazy on TikTok. It is sour cherry supplement, and you can get it. Yeah, you can get it in juice form. You can buy it at your local grocery store, the juice, or you can get it in supplement form, and it's supposed to help you sleep. It's kind of melatonin. Yeah.
Nice. I started taking, for sleep, I started taking magnesium glycinate. Do you take that one?
I don't know. Do you? Is that
Yeah,
helpful
so
a
I
lot?
had a nutritionist actually. She her name is Miriam. She's my friend and a fitness and inspiration. She's our age and she's still doing pole dancing competitions
Oh my
worldwide.
God.
In her late
Wow.
50s, she's got like rock hard everything. She's amazing. And
Yeah.
anyway, but she's also is a fitness person. We'll have to have her on the show. You know that?
Yeah.
But I asked her, I said, I'm so overwhelmed with supplements. Can you just give me a lowdown of what you think I need? And so she said, everyone can use magnesium glycinate because you take it at night. It helps you relax. It kind of helps your brain also to sort of turn off that noise you sometimes get in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it also helps you to relax your muscles. So I thought, well, I've been really enjoying it. It's not like melatonin where it sometimes makes people wake up and feel kind of weirdish.
Yeah.
So I started doing that one. And then she said, like the usual suspects like B12 and B vitamins and vitamin D.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a prebiotic probiotic. She recommended that I put kimchi as a natural prebiotic into my salads or my sandwich or whatever. And now at first it took me a while to I buy it at Costco and my friend, one of my friends who's Korean that's not the real kimchi, but it does the job in terms of wanting to have some of the probiotics in your body. But she says, I don't even take one, but I still take a supplement as well. But I do like it. Do you ever eat something that's like sauerkraut or kimchi?
Yeah. We love kimchi. We buy the same thing at
It's
Sam's
Costco.
Club, that big jar
Yeah.
of it. And then even sauerkraut too.
Yeah.
We love that as a spice on our food and everything. But then yogurt too.
Yep.
We have yogurt every day, and that's a probiotic. And I've even looked at making our own yogurt. I I haven't done it yet, but I've got recipes to make my own yogurt and then the kimchi too. It doesn't look very hard.
No, it's not, and and it's supposed to get more and more, robust in flavor, but I like to put it for one of my little low-cal 'cause I've been trying to, I'm not easy being 58.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Is that, I'll buy those low-carb wraps from the store that are 15 grams of fiber or something, 70, 50, 80 calories, and I'll get sliced turkey or maybe it's hummus or whatever, and then I'll put a little bit of the kimchi and maybe
Mhm.
some little red peppers or whatever, and I roll it, and that'll be
Yeah.
my lunch, and it's like 250 calories, but it's got a lot of fiber, it's got my probiotics in it, it's got protein. So
Yeah.
that's my little hack. I can't eat the way I used to.
Oh, no, me either.
No,
You
it's hard.
I I've been doing intermittent fasting ever since COVID. So, and maybe even before COVID. I'm trying to think exactly when. I know it's been 4.5 years that I've done the intermittent fasting. And so I
Prompted
usually,
you to do it? What made you go, "Okay, I've gotta do
yeah,
something different?"
yeah.
You've
So
always been super fitness focused, one of the most inspirational, like, your whole life, you've made it a priority.
yeah, I have, although the older that I've gotten, the worse that I've been as far as, I mean, I'm active as far as like working out in my garden and walking the dog and doing those kinds of things. And I love hiking and everything, but I'm not as good at going to the gym as I
Mhm.
used to be. And I feel 4.5 years ago, I just noticed around my middle that extra spare tire.
Sure.
It just my clothes weren't fitting as good as thought that they could, and so I actually lost 25 pounds,
That's a
and
lot.
I know, it was,
About
yeah.
5'7"? That's a significant. I mean, I think you're thinner now than you were in high school. I don't know if that's true, but you look it to me.
Well, thank you. I mean, I probably weigh about what I did in high school.
I mean, up on our 40th anniversary, you need to give yourself a big
I
pat on the back.
know,
That's
I'm
pretty darn
yeah.
impressive.
I mean, I just feel better now that I usually open up my window about 2:30. I think today it was 3 or 3:30. And so I'm just not hungry. I mean, I know a lot of people think that back when we were kids that you had to eat breakfast. And I feel all the cereal manufacturers kind of
Prompt.
invented the fact that you have to eat breakfast. You
Best meal
really
of the day. Yeah.
don't, right? And I don't know about you. I know you've been doing the intermittent fasting too. And we both kind of do our own version of it. But the fact is that I feel I have so much more energy and I feel my brain is more just,
Yeah.
I can absorb information more and recall things more. I don't know about you, but the older that we get, it's harder to remember
It
shit,
really
right?
is. Yeah. It totally is, and the reality is you're right. I mean, it is not easy to just have that fatigue feeling or sluggish feeling. I
Yeah.
can see it when I eat very much. I love carbs, but if I go from I had a pasta dinner and then I had a sandwich and then I had whatever,
Yeah,
I just feel I'm gonna lay around all day. I feel like a slug. And,
exactly.
but so I don't know, more so than when I was younger, I feel you are what you eat when you're in your 50s and older because it makes
Yeah.
the world of difference. When I'm eating vegetables and protein and fiber and like you said, I find I just can't eat more than 2 meals and having that in an eating window, I feel fabulous. And when I don't
Yeah.
follow it, I feel like shit.
Me too. Me
I don't
too.
feel good.
And you look really good since
Thank you.
you've started it. What was it,
Yeah,
over a year ago?
yeah, because I had put on some weight over, COVID weight, and I was up also, and so I've lost, about 18 pounds, I guess.
You look really
Yeah,
good.
and,
Yeah.
I'd like to lose a little bit more, but I'm not really as much focused on that, as more just, am I
Mm.
getting enough water every day? Am I eating I'm not talking about being a fanatic about eating clean, but I really like that idea of, 80% of the time, am I doing things that are really good for my body?
The thing
I'm
that I
never
love
gonna
about
be
Yeah, intermittent fasting and I do gravitate towards healthy foods, right? But what I love about it is that I don't have to beat myself up about exactly what I eat because as long as you stay in your window, you can pretty much eat within reason, right? Like you said, if you're eating 80% good, you can have that dessert, even a daily dessert. But for me, I love to have yogurt for dessert, but I do put strawberries and coconut and chocolate chips and chia seeds. And so there's mostly good, but
But
there's
it's
a
also
handful
feels
of
like a
chocolate
treat.
chips in
Yeah.
there and that's okay. Love that.
What is your eating window? How many hours do you allow yourself to eat every day?
So it depends what I'm doing, I guess. But I would say mine's more 6 hour window. So, or seven maybe. So it depends if I started at 2, I give myself till 9 because I feel that is the time that Jim and I usually watch a show at 8 o'clock. And I do to sit there and just kind of snack on something, so I mean, I'm not as strict as I was. When I got started doing intermittent fasting, I had a 4 to 5 hour window. And
Wow,
I
that's
feel
a discipline there.
that was super disciplined. And I am a disciplined person. So I was able to do that. I probably did that for a year and a half to 2 years.
That's
And then it's
amazing.
just recently that I've kind of just allowed myself, what I just want to enjoy myself. I'm at a good weight. I don't need to be as strict as I was before. And you just got to feel comfortable with your body. I think that that's the
I
key.
and give it grace too, like you said, just
Right.
to realize that it's not about going out and winning some competition and
Right.
just to feel good in your own skin. And it feels nice. There were a lot of clothes that I had stopped wearing because I just felt I didn't like the way I looked. I would look at pictures and I had this
Yeah.
feeling that I was thinner than I was. And you picture yourself on
Yeah.
camera, you're like, I did gain weight, and at
Yeah.
the during COVID, I'm embarrassed to tell you, I was having a cocktail every day. I just there was a few years there where every day I'd have a glass of wine or a cocktail, and I just stopped that altogether. Not altogether. I would say sober-ish, and I never was a drunk. I never was drinking because I wanted to get a buzz, but I just
Yeah.
felt it took the edge off of what were really stressful times, frankly.
Yeah.
And being isolated and alone and not knowing, we didn't know at that time what was gonna happen, and so
Right. Right.
and I'm not using that as an excuse, but we just got into that habit of daily cocktails.
Yeah.
And I just told myself last year or 2 years ago, I guess it was now, I said, "Okay, enough of that. If you haven't had 64 ounces of water in the day, you are not gonna have a cocktail in the evening." And a lot of times, that's when I realized, "You're so stupid. You've been thirsty." You realize, "Okay, actually, I've only had about 6 ounces of water." I'm like, "Okay, no, I'd like a cocktail, but I need to drink more water." And then I realized, "You silly girl, you're just thirsty."
And thirsty now has a different
Yeah.
connotation. Not thirsty that way though, right? Yeah. And like cocktails really aren't my thing, but I do have a sweet tooth. And but that's like I said, what I love about intermittent fasting is that I can have if I want to have an ice cream cone or whatever, I
It's amazing.
can.
Do you
And
find now that you're so used to it? Because today my stomach was growling at about 12:30, 12:40. So I ate my first meal at about 1.
yeah.
And so I was thinking about you as I was eating. I'm like, I know this would be really early for Cindy. When you
Yeah.
hear your stomach growling, do you just kind of down water and say, okay, let's wait another hour and then
Yeah,
eat?
and then I get busy with doing other things. So as
Yeah.
long as I'm busy, it really doesn't bother me at
Sure.
all. It's more on the weekends, I think, that I will open up my window earlier just because I'm like, okay, now I'm not as busy and I do feel that hunger and I kind of feel, well, I deserve it, right? Which is is probably not a great thing, but you got to like you said, give yourself grace and just do whatever works for you. And that's what I love about intermittent fasting, though, is that you can open your window up at different times. So if you want to go out to dinner or even breakfast or whatever, sometimes my family, when they come in, they like to go out to breakfast. So I'll just kind of go off the intermittent fasting if we're having a special occasion and not even do it that weekend. And then I might even skip a day of eating throughout the week or go really, really late till 6 o'clock if I kind of haven't been in my window.
And I think the key there, back to what you just said, is that getting rid of those myths that we have in our, not just what we've heard in terms of those tapes, but the tapes we played in our head around,
Yeah.
I should be eating now, or I'm going to get really exhausted because I haven't eaten or
Yeah.
whatever. And, I do realize that most of the time when I think I'm hungry and my stomach is growling, I'll drink water and realize actually how much water have I drank? I have not drank enough water and I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
goes away, so it's funny, and then I feel like you just said, I'm more alert. I just feel better. I just feel so much better, and so
Well, and they say it's better to exercise on an empty stomach. So even
makes
if
sense.
you like to go to the gym at 8 a.m. or something like that, it's better not to have breakfast and then try to follow it up with some proteins or whatever. But even if you can start doing, say you're not used to skipping breakfast or whatever, like you could open your window at 11. I know some people that do that. Like they want a breakfast, so they'll open their window at 11 and then they'll have dinner at 5 and kind of be done at 6.
I can see that. I find for me though, if I open my window, because I used to be that person, and I think it was more just afraid to keep going instead of.
Yeah.
And, I often started at 11. My problem is when I started at 11, I feel like the earlier I start, the longer I wanna go. What I find is, like what you said, if you start at 2 or 3, and
Mhm.
when I have a bunch of appointments, I'm like, "Oh, it's already 3:30 and I haven't eaten yet." And like you said, I haven't even thought about that I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
And then I find I might eat something light or I might eat something heavy, and then I'll eat something light later because then I really don't really want that much more food. And I feel
Exactly.
like it feels good. I go to bed, I don't have a full stomach, I sleep better at night, I wake up, I'm not starving to death ever. I think that's a misnomer that if you eat less that you're gonna wake up sort of in a panic, you need to hoard food. Nope,
Yeah.
I feel if I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the next day I wake up and I'm immediately my stomach is going, "Food, food, food, food."
Yeah. Yeah,
And so
mine was like that because, like I said, this weekend, I ate more over the weekend, and so my stomach was growling around 11:30, and I just kind of ignored it, and like you said, drink water because I do that is one of the things that I do is I drink a lot of water, and
yeah. Do you
I
drink
drink
water before your first coffee, or do you, start drinking water after your first cup of coffee?
it depends. Lately, I've been drinking because I got a new Nespresso maker.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I love it because I love the foam on there. So lately I've
It's so
been,
good.
yeah, drinking my coffee, but then I usually have them both at the same time. So when I'm making my coffee, I'll get my water too, so that I'll have them both together. So immediately, because it doesn't take me long to drink coffee at all. And so right when I'm done drinking my coffee, then I'll drink water.
That's
Are
smart.
you one that
I
starts
have
with
a habit.
water?
Yeah, I have a habit of, I start drinking coffee and then I kind of just love hot drinks. So
Yeah,
I now am forcing myself to say, okay, have a cup of coffee, but then immediately start drinking water. And then if I
yeah.
need another one, I allow myself that. But I just feel back to that when I was having a cocktail, I realized I don't naturally drink enough water.
Mm,
And so I need to just be more mindful of it,
yeah,
and that makes a big difference. So, yeah, I think, the ultimately, I think everybody has to figure out what works for them.
right. Oh,
Um,
totally.
I do feel, being 58 now that, I can't eat like my husband.
Mhm.
I can't eat as much as he does, and I can't eat the things he does.
Yeah.
And just it just, I just have to recognize that, and I
Mhm.
can't eat how 25-year-old Yasmin ate either. I remember we'd go to restaurants, and you'd order an appetizer and a main course and a dessert, and then have maybe a drink, and then whatever,
Yeah.
and the bread and all this stuff, and I feel I can't do that anymore. I mean, I'll literally get sick if I ate all of that.
If I do that, it would have to be that would be my only meal of the day. Like if
Yeah.
I and you can do that. So a lot of people because that's kind of what they like in intermittent fasting too, is kind of like starting out and opening your window with an appetizer, but a healthy appetizer, right? And then kind of having your main course. And then you can have a little dessert after. So if you do
You're not
that and you just kind of say, this is only going to be my only one meal for the day, then
that
yeah,
makes
you can,
that totally makes sense. I feel for me personally though, I kind of like would rather have 1.5 meals, meaning that and I think you're the one that actually talked me into that. You said that a lot of times you start your fast with even just like a protein shake or something very light.
yeah,
Because I was like, how do you go that many hours without eating and then not feel totally like you want to eat the kitchen sink?
yeah.
You said that you find that if you just give yourself something light, it actually satisfies that craving, and then you feel you have this nice dinner with your hubby to look forward to every
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. So I usually have tuna and crackers or something just to open my window with, or peanut butter and crackers or something like that. And then, yeah, you can have a nice meal at 5 o'clock. And then
Yeah.
it's surprising how full you are.
It is. I'm loving it. Yeah, and then tell me, I cut you off in the beginning. What supplements do you take every day?
Well, so I'm good and I'm bad. So yeah, I go through stages, right, where I'm really good and right now I'm really not.
I've done
So
that
pretty
too.
much I'm just doing the sour cherry, and because it when you're doing intermittent fasting, they say not to do the supplements until you open your window, and honestly I forget. And
Oh,
so
that makes
that is my one thing that I really need to get better on, is taking my supplements.
tell you what I did because I had the same problem, but if you can kinda see in the back there, all my
Yeah.
supplements are in my office. So
Oh, that's a good
literally,
idea.
that way I know I don't like to take them on an empty stomach either, or sometimes,
Yeah.
like, I need to be up for a while before I start taking them, and
Yeah.
so I just feel by having them there instead of in the bathroom or in the kitchen, in the pantry, that I'm
Yeah.
more likely to go, I look over there, and then I take a little cup. In fact, you can tell I haven't taken one of them. So I'm gonna
Okay.
take a little cup and I'll go grab the ones that I'm gonna take them. And so then I leave it here, and as I'm working, I might take one and then grab another sip of water in 30 minutes and then take some more.
That's a great
Yeah, so
idea.
that's my little way of kind of because it's a visual reminder, and then when this is empty, I see it and I go, "Oh, okay, I need to go fill it up again."
Well, and then let me ask you this. So the magnesium that you were talking about earlier, is that
Glycinate.
different than just regular magnesium?
Yeah, there's like 3 different kinds of magnesium, and actually,
Okay.
I'll send you a link. I started following this woman on, she's on Instagram, but she's a doctor that's done a lot of research on magnesium and some of its benefits,
Yeah.
and there's another, kind that's called magnesium, I think theanate, if I remember correctly. But the reason I'm taking the glycinate is one you take for other reasons, and this one you take more for relaxation and help restful sleep in that. So that
Yeah.
one I take at night, and so that one we keep by our bedside table, or on our
Okay.
bedside table because
Yeah.
usually okay we're getting ready to bed, and it's like okay we'll take that and that feels good. I
Mhm.
also sometimes will take ashwagandha, which is another relaxation sort of supplement, and I feel I'm actually finally getting better sleep now than I ever have.
That's great. What is the second one called?
It's called ashwagandha.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
It's like let me grab it real quick.
Okay.
It says here, it supports a healthy stress response. It's a daily adaptogen formulary. So this is the one I take. I don't know if there's a one better or worse,
Mhm.
but it's called like ash, like ASH,
Yeah.
WG, ash, wag, and ha. Ashwagandha.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. And so that was another one that was recommended. So usually, like I said, I had that feeling for a while. Oh, at the end of the stressful day, I'd be like, oh, I need something to unwind and think about a cocktail. So
Yeah.
because I have them in my little thing, sometimes
Yeah.
that might be the last thing I take at the end of the day. Oh, okay, the work day's done. I might take my ashwagandha
Yeah.
supplement and I'll take the magnesium at night. I can't sit there and I don't take a bunch of supplements. Like I said, it's just B vitamins and vitamin D and
Yeah.
then probiotic, what have you, but I do
Yeah.
feel it's interesting. Food is not what it used to be. When
It's
I was
not.
living in Germany, I felt food had so much more flavor. In Europe, everything's grown with a lot of, kind of more stringent growing they're really very strict about pesticides and, what have you. Like we have so much glyphosate in everything because of Roundup being used to improve our farming. But I remember coming back to the US when I was there 15 years in Germany, and every year I'd come back to the US. And in the beginning, I'd be like, oh, I missed this and that in the US. And one of them was Reese's peanut butter cups because, like you, I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
They taste like crap now. They're not the same food
I
that
don't like them
they're
anymore.
disgusting. Yeah, but they were delicious. I don't think that it's that we've changed. I think they have changed. And
Yeah.
so many things that I thought that I loved in the US, when I moved back in 2017, I was like completely disappointed. I just don't think food tastes as good.
Well, I don't think so either. I think even like
Just
fries, like remember McDonald's
yes.
French fries and they used
Yeah.
to fry them in what was the oil that I don't know, but back then they had a different kind of oil than they do now. And I know now it's supposed to be healthier for you, but it just doesn't
It
taste good.
doesn't
And
taste
I
good.
go
It
to
doesn't even taste
McDonald's.
like potatoes, frankly.
Yeah, I go there like I can't even remember when I've been to McDonald's last. It's been over 3 years ago.
I have
And
no interest. It doesn't yeah, it's with my least favorite of all of them.
me
But,
too.
but in general, I just think, you look at the other thing is that I started making everybody else during COVID my own bread, sourdough bread. And it
Mhm.
has the ingredients of flour, water, salt, period, and a
Yeah.
yeast, your sourdough, your starter. But basically, if you go and read the ingredients of every loaf of bread in the grocery store, sugar is in literally every single bread product.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the hell? Call it cake." When you start adding sugar to it, you're not eating bread, you're eating cake. You call
Exactly.
it
I
I
mean,
was laugh What's
yeah,
that?
we just don't eat bread anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
sometimes we'll eat naan. If we're gonna eat anything, it'll be naan or something like
yeah.
that at dinner because I do like to kind of have a spicy, not spicy, but
Yeah, something that
with a
kind of
little.
counterbalances yeah.
Yeah, but we don't eat bread.
I'm a sandwich person, I really do like it, but I just can't justify buying first of all, a loaf of bread is $7, and then it's full of
Yeah,
crap. And so you're not doing your body good, you're not really helping yourself, just there's
yeah,
nothing good about it. So now I'm sort of in that mindset. If I make it, I'll eat it, and, otherwise, I just don't want something that has sugar in it.
yeah.
It's
No,
not
I
supposed
agree.
to. I'm not super weird about sugar, but bread isn't supposed to have sugar.
Exactly. I mean, when you're gonna eat something sugary,
Yeah.
it has sugar in it. Stuff like that shouldn't have sugar
I
in it.
know. And I would say that the things that, like, when I was younger, that would have been a treat, Snickers bar or, like I said, Reese's peanut butter it's so gross tasting to me. It
Yeah.
doesn't have even and I know it because Lux, my kid who grew up in Germany, came back here and goes, "Mom, why is American chocolate chocolate so disgusting?"
It doesn't taste good. Yeah.
It doesn't. It
Yeah,
has
I like dark chocolate now. I
yeah.
know my tastes have changed with chocolate because now I only like dark
It's my
chocolate.
favorite too.
Yeah,
My favorite too, but I
but
usually
I know that they've make it different, definitely. But Um, yeah, because some of the dark chocolate ones that I like with the sea salt or whatever, those
oh,
are
yeah.
really
Those are
good.
good. I
But it's like
agree.
you can we've started just trying to buy an individual bar. Instead of buying a whole big bag of Reese's, just buy one individual chocolate bar if you want to indulge in that rather than have the big old gallon or 5 gallons that Sam's Club has of ice
Oh,
cream,
right.
just have an individual serving,
That's a great idea. The other thing I realize is that Trader Joe's, they do dark chocolate peanut butter cups that are delicious.
Allie bought me some of those. In fact, I have those in my pantry right now, and
Oh,
I think I only have 4 of them left, but literally, she bought them for me 2 weeks ago, and I think the container was literally that big, and that's the problem is that I just can't
I
stop.
know, so true. It's funny that you say that. I was, visiting a new client last week, and she's just delightful. She's about 63, and her husband's turning
Mhm.
60 she's 64 or whatever, and she's just this tiny little thing, and I see 3, Lay's potato chips in her kitchen, and I looked at her before I left, and I said, Okay, I need to know your secret. How do you keep a Lay's potato chip bag there without and still look like you do now?
Yeah, yeah,
Because like you, it's if it's in the house, I feel I'm sitting here, chips, chips, chips.
yeah, exactly.
And who needs that kinda I think you're right. It's better to have it as a treat and it's one and done and then don't have it in the house.
Yeah, because especially with us, we can go on the golf cart and just kind of go for a ride and go get the individual portions. So it's kind
Yeah,
of, you feel you're on vacation and just having the experience instead of buying a huge cake. You can go and now you can just buy an individual piece
that's
if you
true. That's a
want
good
and then share it. So I'm trying to get into that mentality where even though it might be a little bit more expensive to do it that way, I know it's better for me.
yeah. I mean, so even with my bread making, what I'll do is ends up making 2 little round loaves, and I cut them
Mhm.
each in half, and I freeze all but half a loaf.
Yeah.
So that it's not that okay. Because at first I didn't do that, and then there was always this, "Let's voraciously eat all this bread in the
Yeah.
house." And
Yeah.
so now we have a half a loaf that we share, and then I'm not just thawing bread all the time, so it's like, assumed we always have bread in the house, but it's the same
Yeah.
yeah, I like the idea of just getting a piece and just, enjoying and indulging in that, or just a
Yeah.
Ben& and Jerry's and
Yeah. Because you can buy the little jar. In fact, they even have really tiny ones that you
yeah,
can get.
that's right.
I'm like you. Yesterday, a Facebook memory came up from like 10 years ago before I was doing the intermittent fasting. And after 3 kids, it's no joke. You do put on the weight. And so that memory came up, and I was, oh, wow, I do look way better than what I did 10 years ago. And it just makes you feel good that you're
Yeah,
trying to eat healthier and that I'm getting older and where it's not easy. And I do feel like though for me that I'm fully menopausal and I was like a late, and I know you said just because we know each other that you have been that for a long, long time.
since
But for me,
41, yeah.
yeah. So for me, it's really just a year ago that I went through menopause. And so it is harder. I will tell you that. So I am struggling more now. And I don't know if it's because my work is really stressful right now, right? We're going through a lot of changes at work and everything. But I think it's also the menopause that really is
Probably.
no joke and it's harder to stay fit. Plus, I'm not going to the gym as much as I used to. So that's why I guess I am making a bigger deal about the intermittent fasting just because the change.
It's a great, hack. It's a to me, it's a great, nutrition hack.
Yeah.
Also, think about it with the cost of groceries being so high. It's nice to have also something where, okay, I'm not planning for 3 meals and a snack every day.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
buying food for less than that.
Well, and my kids came home and they were like, "Mom, you have no food in the house." And for me, well, we've got a ton of chicken, we've got salmon. I know we've got hamburger and stuff in there, but it's just Jim travels. And so a lot of times it's just me at home and I'm just doing the one meal a day. And I get so busy that I'll just eat whatever is in the
Yeah, your grace.
freezer. I don't wanna go to the grocery store. It's just easier for me not to, and anyway, so
Well, I'm with you on that one, it's just it's sometimes you realize, okay, it doesn't always have to be a big meal, and I'm just a person, I can't handle a lot of really delicious snacks in the house because I falter to, "That's quick and dirty." I can just
yeah,
get that done right away, and so I'm with you on that, so
yeah,
ever forward, I think that too, it's made me realize if you even with clients, there are many people that, have are so healthy and inspirational, and
mhm.
they're living their best lives. They're being able to kind of go off and do a lot of really fun things. Couple last week I met with, they're gonna be going to Nepal for the summer and on a hiking adventure, and
Oh,
I just kinda go, "That's my inspo right there." It's I'm
yeah,
not doing it for vanity. I like looking better in my clothes and all that, but more,
sure,
I like having, like you said, the energy to get through the day,
yeah,
and I wanna have the body that actually fueled to go and do the things I love to do.
yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And just to be healthy and, like I said, just happy in your skin.
And there's something to be said
Yeah.
for that. Yeah. And we've got our 40th reunion, high school
I
reunion.
know. I'm like super excited to see everybody, aren't you?
I realized that I haven't bought my ticket yet, and they're running low on, there's not enough people that have bought tickets. So I'm like,
I
okay,
know.
get the
I
ticket.
need to buy mine too.
You haven't either. So
I
yeah.
haven't done that
I'm
either.
gonna do that, I think, after we get off of this podcast, just as it's on my mind, but it is kinda exciting to see everybody, and it's
Yeah.
different with Facebook. I imagine, like, 20 years ago when you had a reunion, people literally had 0, knowledge of who, but I think I would literally not remember who anybody was if we didn't have Facebook.
I think so too. I'm curious how many people are gonna actually go
Yeah,
and
me too.
yeah, but I think it'll be fun.
Well, even if they're not there, you and I will be there.
Yeah, have you talked to Rebecca? Is she gonna go?
I have not talked to her. I'll have to check and see if she's gonna go. I know she's
Yeah.
a grandma now, so she's having some fun with that. And she's
No,
become quite the Susie homemaker. I see her on Instagram. She's constantly baking something that looks delicious.
that sounds really
I
good.
know. So, well, Cindy, it's been great to catch up on
Yeah.
share some of the best practices. I think that I read something recently, or it was on a podcast. They said that being around other people that have good habits, you tend to have better habits yourself. And
Yeah.
I would say that with you. There's days where I'm thinking, what would Cindy do here? She'd be like, okay with this. And so
Well,
you
and you too. I love the magnesium glycinate and the having my supplements in the office because, like I said, honestly, I just haven't been doing a good job. But that's okay. But I learned from you too, so
oh,
I
well,
think
thank
we're
you.
better together,
We are
right? Isn't
Medicare
that
Besties.
awesome? Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
We
All
need
right,
to
my
do.
dear. Love you so much.
Okay, love you too. See
Okay.
you later.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're wondering if this could happen to me, the answer is yes. If you do not know what gaps to look for,
Join us for our free Medicare webinar, Buckle Up Buttercup, 5 Medicare Secrets for a Smooth Ride Through Retirement. We'll show you how to dodge costly surprises and stay confidently covered.
Seats fill fast. Click below to save your seat and bring your questions. We're ready when you are.